Walk into certain courtrooms in America, and you might witness a strange defense strategy. A defendant stands before a judge and claims absolute, total immunity from local and federal laws, arguing the court simply has no jurisdiction over them. The people making these claims identify themselves using a highly specific, very intentional legal label. They call themselves sovereign citizens. A sovereign has supreme authority, answering to no higher power. A citizen is subject to a political community's laws. Combining them is a paradox. Claiming to be a sovereign citizen means you are a subject who isn't a subject, a logical impossibility. Yet entire alternative legal movements operate on this exact oxymoron. They produce massive volumes of pseudo-legal paperwork. In documents like this one, they outline convoluted processes designed to restore your own status and standing to that of sovereign elector.
Events forces an interesting question. Where does ultimate absolute power actually sit inside the American legal structure? To find that power, we must clear up a common misconception about the U.S. government. Many people assume America operates as a pure democracy. It does not. The core mechanic of a pure democracy is simple. 51 always overrules 49. The group argues, votes, and whatever the majority decides becomes mandatory for everyone. In this system, sovereignty, that supreme authority, resides entirely within the collective group. It never rests with the individual. The direct consequence of group sovereignty is that the minority has no permanent rights. They only enjoy temporary privileges granted to them by the majority. If the 51% changes its mind, the 49% must comply. If the United States were a pure democracy, an individual would have zero basic legal protections against the sudden whims of the mob. That brings us to the actual system intended for the United States, a republic. A republic looks identical to a democracy, except for one crucial difference. Sovereignty rests entirely within each individual person. Because individuals hold supreme power, decisions made by the larger group are technically advisory, not absolute. The collective cannot force a true sovereign to do anything. Now, to actually function as a society and not collapse into anarchy, the United States operates as a clipped republic. We voluntarily agree to follow general laws and yield some autonomy so the country can operate. But the underlying architecture of the republic is specifically designed to prevent a majority dictatorship by placing the highest legal authority in the hands of the individual. And the ultimate test of that system happens in the courtroom. The abstract theory of the republic takes physical shape during a criminal trial. Statistically, a jury is a microcosm of the republic itself. The 12 selected individuals represent 100% of society, with each juror holding 1/12 of the community's voice. If all 12 jurors vote to convict, society is in total, unanimous agreement. At that specific moment, the system acts like a democracy. The individual on trial loses their sovereignty and goes to prison. But here is the republic's built-in failsafe. If just one single juror looks at the evidence and refuses to convict, the entire apparatus of the state is stopped in its tracks. This mechanism is called jury nullification. It is the jury's irreversible power to acquit. It is an absolute action. Even if the defendant clearly broke the letter of the law, a single juror can legally ignore the instructions of the judge if they believe the law itself is unjust or being applied unfairly. Citizens do not need to invent contradictory pseudo-legal titles to fight the system. The American Republic was explicitly designed to give one dissenting individual the ultimate veto over the entire government.